Hi, guys. Or I should say, hi, angels, since I love to call people angels because I believe that we are all angels. Um, we all have that beauty and that spark and that love. So there you go. As you can see, it's Sunday because I have my Saints shirt on and my Saints earrings. Ever hopeful. But the reason that I'm coming to you today wearing a Saint shirt and my earrings is actually to talk about ritual and intention. So we've talked a lot about how building your surfboard, about finding routine, aka ritual, right, in your day, so that you have a certain grounding routine that helps you stay out of the swirling dumpster fire that is going on around all the time. It just feels a bit more present and intense right now. So, ritual and intention. So I'm just going to dig a little bit deeper into ritual and intention. And the first thing that I'm going to suggest to you is that anything you do intentionally is part of a ritual. Anything you do intentionally is part of a ritual. And that being intentional and maybe thinking of more things in your life as being a kind of a ritual that has intention and purpose can help ground us, can help us make sense of what's going on in the world, can help protect us to some degree, right? So where am I going with this? It's part of calling in your spirituality, whatever that is, on an everyday basis, right? On an everyday, all day basis, okay? So everything from getting dressed in the morning, right? So this morning when I was getting dressed, it's Sunday, the Saints are playing today, so I put on a Saints t-shirt. My hope and intention with this t-shirt is that the Saints win, right? Or it's just a signal that I love the Saints and New Orleans no matter what happens in the game, right? This is also not about attachment, right? So I'm not attached. I'm not going to be sad if the Saints don't win. I'm not going to be, I'll probably feel a little happy. But the intention is not to try to change any particular outcome. The intention is for me. What's the intention here? What am I calling in? All right. So I'm calling in some fun around a game. I'm calling in community, because if I go out today to the grocery store or to the gas station, I'm going to see other people wearing black and gold. I'm going to see other people wearing Saints attire, right? And that helps us feel connected, right? So that's part of what ritual and intention can do. You go to church, you have ritual with intention, you feel a connection within a community. You go to a fire ceremony, you feel ritual and intention with a particular community, right? So I am calling in the community of New Orleans Saints fans today, right? That's what I'm doing. And I like that. I enjoy that, right? So also, who or what are you calling in? So, for instance, my father, who passed away 5 years ago, there's a funny story around the ring that I wear a lot, which is a gold Mignon Faget snail ring, right? And this reminds me of my father, but it also reminds me of my mother, and who's still fabulously with us. And a funny story about them, right? So I put this ring on with intention of calling in the memory of my dad and one aspect of him that I knew, right? Just a quick story. So the story behind this ring, I feel like it's a tease if I don't tell you. So the story behind this ring is that I think I was 10 years old, and all of my friends were getting little silver snail shells from Mignon Faget. They were sometimes little pieces of jewelry or earrings or rings. And I really wanted to be part of the crowd. I wanted to be part of the community, right? And so I asked for that for Christmas. My mother sent my dad on the errand to Mignon Faget to get me a silver snail ring. He did not tell her that, of course, when he got in there and he saw all the offerings, and this is typical dad, he always wanted the shiniest thing. He loved jewelry. He loved giving jewelry to my mom and to me. So that is part of, like, I see as his, like, generous spirit, and his unending ability to manifest and be joyful no matter what the bank account actually said, because it often wasn't looking good. But Dad never wavered on his ability to call in whatever he needed whenever he needed it. So that's another thing that I remember when I wear this ring, right? So Dad went to Mignon Faget. He apparently saw this ring and he thought, oh, well, if Catherine would like a silver ring, she'll be blown away by a gold ring, right? So that's what he bought. But he did not mention to my mom that he got me a big gold ring instead of a little silver ring. So on Christmas morning, I opened the box, and of course, I'm over the moon because I have like the most amazing ring that's so beyond anything that I could have even expected or hoped for. And that, what a gorgeous surprise that was for me. Of course, my mother was not necessarily so pleased. So when I brought the box over to show Mom, she started yelling at my dad. Herschel, what did you do? So I told you to get a silver ring, which is how I know the story, because she started fussing at him right then. But for me, that is so much that, my mom was always trying to kind of keep my dad a little bit straight, and he needed that. He needed a grounding force like my mother. But sometimes he got away from her anyway, especially where jewelry was concerned. He always spent more on jewelry than she was comfortable with, wanted, whatever. That was just it was his thing. So for me, this ring symbolizes my parents, my father who passed away, his generosity, his ability to manifest, his unwavering belief that everything was always going to be okay. He was the original, Mr. Sunshine. He called himself a Pollyanna, and he was. So to come back to the idea of ritual and intention, right? So when you are getting dressed in the morning, what are you trying to say about yourself? What are you calling in? Are you wearing a particular color to call in? Like, do you decide to put on green, maybe to call in abundance and money? Do you put on yellow to pull in the shiny sun? Do you put on pink to symbolize love, right? What are you calling in? Let's start thinking about these things. What jewelry are you wearing? What is it? What meaning does it have for you? These are things, and I know, like the earrings that I have on here, I got at the last Bhakti Fest that I attended, which is also a very, very joyful place for me. So wearing these earrings symbolizes joy and the joy of Bhakti Fest. So that's another example of me intentionally choosing clothing, choosing jewelry, but it can be also, what are you choosing to eat? What are you using to make food, right? What intention are you putting into the things that you're making? Say if you're making dinner for your family or for yourself, are you intentionally filling that food with joy and love and the idea that you are feeding people that you love with great love? Or are you coming at that as a burden and as something that you don't want to do? Because that's going to affect how you feel about it, and that's going to affect how the people that receive it feel about it. If you give a gift that you didn't really spend a lot of time picking out, and you didn't really think about the person, or maybe you don't know the person, you just grabbed something, that's going to have a different effect than something that you thought deeply about. And the same is true for anything that we do. If we do it with intention and love, there's a different energy behind it. And that's going to make a difference for you, and that's going to make a difference for the person who's receiving it. That can also apply to really anything in your day. But what I invite you to do is to simply spend more time, a little bit of time, just thinking about what can be a ritual with intention, and what is the intention, right? With what you're doing, what is the intention behind it? And if we can all find a more loving or joyful intention to share with the world, we all know we need that right now. Thank you. Mwah. Love you. Bye, angels. Go Saints.